currently. I've started this live broadcast topic for talking about the potential main topic that seems to be going around the world is beauty and fashion, which is a big part of every culture. But I believe that we don't need beauty and fashion to see the inner beauty of a person's soul and mind. One moment. Reasons of beauty and fashion, which is mostly for reappropriation and attraction from pheromones and hormones. Those out there that are not aware of your biological structure, you're a walking chemical bag. Be careful what chemicals you put into it. Be careful of what your body announces to your brain. If you think you are your body, well, you are, but you're also your intellectual capability. You are your consciousness. So if you're going to be ruled by your body, then you're going to walk around like an animal. If you're going to allow your mind to control your body and have discipline, then you will be in control and you will go far and you will develop mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and maybe even be able to do amazing things, what some will call magic, others call science. This has been going on a long time. So a part of beauty and fashion is a part of the big question. Let's just say the word God. Does anyone know what the word God means? God was invented a long time ago, the word, to describe powerful ones. Just like Armageddon in Latin means the awakening. You see, if you're going to read your books and take them literally, you are going to be controlled. And a lot of religions, including Christianity, like to say they're sheep. Follow your shepherd. If you would like to be a walking zombie to your body and your chemicals in your body, you will be. So beauty and fashion have a lot to do with everything. So those that are still here and watching and are following with me, then you understand. My registry says there's 3 people currently and over 70 people have came and gone because they have no idea about who I am. Or may like to come, see, go, that's pretty, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, their voice is different. So if you're hang about, you might learn something. So if you haven't been fully hanging about for the understanding of, thank you ever so much, why I'm here, then it's a good opportunity. So that's the whole point of beauty and fashion. I'm also neurodyslexic, high grade, meaning that my brain thinks a little differently, and that allows me to have an edge. So you'll call me an intellectual person, but I have a speech problem due to my interactions with my body. I'm disabled. My disability is, how can I say, my brain is fired up, but what I want my body to do from my brain misfires. So what I'm trying to say isn't always coming out in the exact clarity. That's why my speech patterns change all the time, because my brain is trying to compensate for what I'm saying. They put a movie out once regarding this, and I might add that movie had a lot of beauty and fashion in it to get your attention, because that works, once again. And we all know this. But it doesn't mean, once again, that it is everything. Because if you're going to get with a person because they look beautiful, are they really beautiful? Do they have heart? Do they have morals? Are they loyal to you? Are you a loyal person to yourself? Do you lie to yourself? Do you hush your tongue around people when you have your own thoughts because you don't want to get cut down? You don't want to get told you're wrong. Well, everyone's going to tell you you're wrong. And that is the big thing in life. You're going to make mistakes because from mistakes you learn. But if you're not going to accept you've made mistakes and you're not perfect, you're never going to reach perfection, because perfection is imperfection. But there is lines. As a martial artist, We draw lines in the sand. These sand lines are imaginary lines within our mind, our construct of our emotions, and our inner beauty as well as our exterior beauty. If my heart goes black, I lose the feeling for other people. I cross lines that I would not normally cross. Therefore, am I the same person? Can I get back to the person I was? Or become a better, stronger person? Yes, it's called life. All this is part of beauty and fashion. This is part of beauty and fashion. The understanding of life itself. And if you think you know what life is, and you've lived in this world a long time, I don't care if you're 105, I don't care if you're 10 years of age. Each person gets it in their own time frame. So never let an older person say, I'm older than you, so you should listen to me. That is the first mistake you've ever done. Listen to them. Okay? Younger generation has fresh ideas, although they are not experienced and they don't have wisdom. But it does not mean they do not have insight. And insight is very important. I might add that an older generation was blinded in this world and led us to this point of where we are now. So, my generation is Generation X. We were the first generation to stand up. We were the ones that were held into the sky in the 70s as flower power children for the freedom of the planet. Some of us took it seriously. Well, that generation did not die in vain. Just read some comments for a moment. Thank you, Drew, for the hearts. I choose Sky. I am hoping you be able to find the other half of me, which those... And it's not the glasses. Well, these are what they call diamond glasses. When you see through these, you see through all the different spectrums. Some people can put them on, and they can't see through them at all. Some people can put them on, and they can only see through a front or one angle picking. Why do I wear these glasses? These are a huge point and a huge understanding area. I'll elaborate as best as I can. So, the human brain takes in this area and this area, meaning two focal points, okay? So you're looking through two eyes, and you are looking through these eyes. Your brain is inside here. You lose your eye, you're still in there. You can hear, you can smell, but we will go past all the other senses. We'll stick with the eyes. So, if you look through two eyes, you're looking through two senses and your brain's processing two things at the same time. So, they are focused into one site where you focus as one. But you need to know what you're made of and not the mainstream or not the science of what they believe, but just the facts, okay? You get an X-ray or an ultrasound, or you want to cut an animal up or a human being, which they do, what are you going to find inside? A human brain. And inside this human brain, what does the brain look like? The brain is constructed of two brains, connected together by a neural tongue network. So each brain can understand each side of the brain becoming one brain. Understand that drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, a lot of the food and chemicals you use, destroy the neural tongue, the communicational device from one side of the brain to the other. And the brain is constantly repairing itself through life. So there's a lot of things out there you don't know what's happening to you. And you might wonder, hang on a second, am I hearing voices? I supposed to be trained as a child to listen to my own thoughts? Am I supposed to think before I speak? These are all things people have said in our generations, not the thousands of years before. So they're categorizing and teaching you how to think in your own mind. So you're all the same. All the same. Lots of people made movies about zombies and whatnot to show you the words from the Bible, the book that was written for 5-year-olds by quantum thinkers back in the time. Yeah, it's real. That is that they writ a book for 5-year-old mentality 2,000 years ago, and if you think that's a long time ago, it's not. Okay, they found freaking pyramids out there 120,000 years ago. They're just rubble, with little writing beside it. Yeah, we're so advanced right now. We're not. But not getting into that we're living in apocalyptia, still rising out of the sand, because we are, and our science knows jack shit. And what we do know is being held back for greed and money and power by the elite and governments, because they don't think you can handle it. So that is what these are for. If you put these on, you're going to see through more than 2 spectrums. You're going to see through every spectrum, through every refraction. So therefore your brain is processing more visions. So if you put these on, you're forcing your mind to not just think in a double spectrum, but to think in multiple spectrums, therefore giving you an advantage over everyone else, because your brain is processing multiple visions at the same time and coordinating that information back and forth with both sides of your brain to one point. And now do you see my fingers here? One point. Triangle. Okay. That is the index of the triangle of power. That is what they worked out a long time ago. Okay, before ever seeing eye. The pineal gland within inside with the spirituality point of what they call watchers, or what they say other races call observers. So there is many races that observe or watch, including our own. I'm a watcher. I've been watching my whole life with multiple fractional vision. I've changed my mind. As a master in MMA, meaning mixed martial arts, since I was 5 years of age, I have looked at the world and studied it. I remember being, I think I was 6.5-year-old, standing on a mountain because my parents kicked me out because they didn't want me in the house. So I went for a wander. I found myself on top of a mountain looking down at a town. This is in Queensland as a child, Australia. I remember looking out and looking over the whole town and going, what's wrong with these people? I'm a child and I'm looking around and they don't seem to use their heart. They don't seem to be able to see. They follow what everyone else teaches them and they say, this is our way. And I'm like, crying on a hill as a 6-year-old going, what is wrong? But I won't go into that either, because that will be going off the topic of beauty and fashion, or would it? Because there's a lot of femme men out there as well. I'm not a femme man. I'm a biological woman in every aspect. The voice and some muscle tone, and a little bit of bone damage from testosterone. But that's my choice, and I don't need to explain who I am. Biologically, I am who I am in front of you. I announce myself as female. I am not a cisgendered woman. I am not a cisgendered man. I am Chan. I identify as a third race. We have abilities, they call us eagle eyes. No, not all of us are. Just like your race being in male spectrum or female spectrum. We came from you. We don't breed. So we're never going to hurt our egg. But we do want to educate it. So the governments around the world, Donald Trump and many other areas, and many other companies and governments understand this. That's why they like to ridicule us and take us out, because we understand both spectrums. Look, there's the pyramid again, the forever seeing eye. Because if you transfer from one to the other, it gives you understanding of different spectrums. So it gives you an edge, and that is the truth. As a master in MMA and understanding spectrums, well, consciousness is a lot different for me. And I can train myself just by wearing a pair of glasses and so much more accuracy. But doesn't mean you can't as well. So if you're still hanging about, let's talk about beauty a little more. Let's talk about you. So, did you know a male through life will transition into female spectrums of emotion, and a female through life will transition to male spectrums? Would you like to know how? Once again, beauty and fashion. Chemicals. So a male has testosterone, a female has estrogen, As a male grows old in life, he normally loses his pig-headedness, stupidity, masculinity, grows old. Has to depend on more other things as his testosterone goes down. He becomes more sentient, if not to a point of femininity. Of course, he'll always try to hide it. A female will start off feminine. As they get older, they go through menopause. The estrogen levels drop. They become into a spectrum of masculinity at the end of their spectrum. So you understand that you're transitioning in life. I just decided to do it now. And defy the age factor. An answer and everything you will notice goes full circle. I have tried to train and teach many people. I never really opened a dojo and many other areas, but I believe martial arts in physical contact is stupid and only hurting the biological body. So therefore my martial arts is done mostly with mental stimulation and emotional. Therefore I can think about what I'm going to do and do it, even if I've never done it before. That's called brilliant. My martial arts is more, as I would say, a simulation, Borg. It's the only way to put it, because I cut through the bullshit. I'll read some more comments. You hang around long enough, look up. You might learn something new. Put away your ideals and who you think you are and what's happening. Put down your games for a second. Take your hand off your dick or your vagina and look up. Become the high individual you are. Find true love and a soulmate, because you're around for a long time. Your physiological body can be taken in life as well as in death. Religion has repressed you, given you pray for your soul and God, and you'll get eternal life. If you don't, you'll go to hell, which is a load of shit. You already have an eternal soul, and they're promising you nothing. They're draining your money, they're draining your life force, and draining your thoughts. I'm not here for evil or good, I'm here for truth. I am not here for people, I'm here for humanity. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, then you're not a humanitarian. Life right now in a biological body, it can do a lot of things, it really can. But you have to understand how to use it. And when you were born, you were not given a manual, a book, to say this is how it's used, because they want to use you. All they do is write down good words in different books and tell you. But they don't show you, they don't demonstrate, they don't prove to you anything. Well, I'm proving it to you. Look at my first reel. No, I'm not going to sit here and change my eyes left, right and center. But if you're actually paying attention, they change all the time, depending how I think. Can I be a medium? I'm always a medium. Spirits are very real. Some of them quite annoy me. You can play with words as much as you like. You're talking to an intellectual person. I have more qualifications than you'll ever see in your lifetime. I'm 46 years of age. I started working at the year 7. I was building mansions on foreshores of Newcastle Harbour when I was in my 20s. That was like 27 years ago, people. So I'm a constructional engineer. That was one of my old trades. I owned my own company, Power Legacy, computer installations for military RAF bases and Medicare. That means around Australia. I now represent the transgender community. I sit on the live board internationally and am known internationally as a third party. Thank you ever so much. So you're not just speaking to someone that they want to put on TV and say, this is a transgender, look, they're idiots. No, we are actually quite smart when we want to be. Just like anybody else, you might actually realize that there are dumb transgenders and there's smart transgenders, because we're all people. And that's about how it comes. There's idiot people out there too that aren't transgenders. So if you want to keep on putting idiots on TV, you're going to presume we're all idiots. No, we are actually quite smart when we want to be. Just like anybody else, and we're not. I'll read some more questions. I make $200,000 a year and I'm 19. You're 19. You're young. You're inexperienced, okay? When I was 19, making $1,600 a day, you'd kick your money up the ass. I owned many things in my life. Why don't I now? Because I woke up. What are you going to do at the end of your life? Grow old, die, and go, look how much money I made? Wow, look what I did. I have all these memories. You're dead. But I've got a chance of continuing to live because I'm accessing my pineal gland within my brain, which allows me to have different abilities in the human race. And that is a big thing, and I'm not alone. It's called the awakening. Religion has repressed you. You might add that religions were first part of the governments, crusaders, Babylon. Have you done your history? Do you understand the world you really live in? Or are you still living in the world you think it is? Do you really think the world is going to be like this in another 20, 30, even 10 years? My friend, you go across the pond and tell me one person, cisgendered or not, that is able to do what I can do for 2 years regarding the awakening. I have taken on corporations, I have taken on religions. Recently just took on the Tibetan monks in the monasteries for their bigotism, allowing them to cut down the intellectual capability of the human brain for females and themselves by using chi, the inner strength of the body, instead of it. But that's how they explain it. I would say using their inner force of the 7 chakras of their body, instead of just using their 7th chakra to use the other 6 and utilize their body correctly from the 7th chakra.